First of all, thank you so much, Carmen, Mauricio, for allowing us to do this presentation using the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and we feel extremely supported. I tell you, through the years that I've been a member, many members have considered our people with disabilities, and many have actually hired people with disabilities. So that's wonderful. And something that I need to say, when I talk about people with disabilities, you won't notice in my voice, in my tone of voice, the way I talk about them, that I talk with a lot of compassion, because what I have for them is a lot of respect and a lot of admiration. And that's what I will try to impart on all of you. They are people just like you and me with difficulties and challenges, and they are on a daily basis proving themselves and proving the rest of us that they are people that deserve a place in the labor market, a place in the community. And that's going to be our job today, to prove it to you with numbers and to make sense of what we're saying. So with that being said, if Allison, if you can put the PowerPoint, thank you. So yeah, Allison and I represent Jewish Social Services Agency. It's a nonprofit organization that is non-sectarian. We serve everyone, regardless of their religious affiliation, regardless of their race, their background. We serve the community at large. Before we go into deeper knowledge about the organization and what we do, how we do it, who we do it with, and I would like to have an icebreaker. Let's introduce ourselves briefly. Remember, briefly, because I know everybody's busy here. So if we can just go around the room and say our name, what company we represent, what position we have, and our favorite vacation spot.
Okay, so I'm going to list, I'm going to call out names, because otherwise there'll be some people will be quiet and other people will speak on top of each other. So, okay, thank you very much for joining the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce webinar from JSSA presentation. Could you please introduce yourself? Let's start with Lucy Absi Lopez. Lucy, could you unmute yourself, and would you mind introducing yourself? Okay. Just when I see you unmuted, I will call you. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, my name is Lucy Absi Lopez, and my video is not working very well, but I want to introduce myself. I work for the Montgomery County Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health, and I also have a son with multiple disabilities, and he also has some visual impediments.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Lucy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then I have Jorge Restrepo.
Hi, Jorge Restrepo, CEO of Eureka Facts, a market and social research firm. I started the company almost 20 years ago, 18 years ago, the CEO. And my favorite vacation spot would have to be either Medellin, Colombia, or Bethany Beach, because we go there as a family every year.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have Betty Valdez.
Oh my God. Listen, I want to correct you. I'm sorry to say that I am the director of the Montgomery County Municipal Cable. I am not, but I work very closely with her. Her name is Melissa Shoemaker. I am the producer and host of ¿Qué pasa? And I've been there. I mean, it's the oldest show in Spanish for the Hispanic speaking community. And I went to name the role, and my favorite vacation spot is any place where I can feel, and I feel very happy in many places, wherever I can go and meet nice people like all of you, and especially these people that are on the left. No, it's right. Marta, mi amigo colombiano. Okay. Ya se me fue tu nombre. Dime.
Jorge.
Jorge Restrepo, eso, sí. Y Carmen Larsen, así, whenever I can be with you, that's a vacation for me. I love you guys.
Thank you very much. Ana Luman.
Good afternoon, everyone. I work for one of the institutes of NIH, the National Institute of the Heart, Lung, and Blood. I work as an administrative officer there, basically doing the hiring, the link with HR in the company. And my favorite vacation spot, I have many, but one that comes to mind is Aruba, just looking at those palm trees. And yeah, and I'm pleased to be here. And thank you, Marta, for inviting me and showing me a lot of the world of abilities for people with disabilities.
Thank you for being here, Ana.
Thank you. And we have Javier Peña. Javier. I will catch up with you in a minute. So if you can unmute yourself. Okay. Carmen Rojas.
Hi, everybody. My name is Carmen, and I work with the Hispanic Business Foundation. I am the executive director, and my favorite place for vacation is Mexico and Peru, because I am originally from Peru.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. Aneta Lefterov or Anita?
Hi, Aneta.
Aneta.
Correct. Yeah, Aneta Lefterov. I am a regional business solutions consultant with Maryland Department of Labor, and I work together with Marta, helping people with different abilities to locate as many job openings as possible.
Thank you for being here, Aneta.
Place is Cyprus. Vacation place is Cyprus.
Cyprus. Wow, cool. Okay, Pedro Savarce. Pedro Savarce, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, everyone. I'm Pedro Savarce. I'm the CEO of BC Video Production, a multimedia production company here in Wheaton. Was founded in 1997. And my favorite place, anything have a beach.
That's a good thing.
Good to see you, Pedro.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Marta.
Okay.
Placer.
Catherine Strong. Is Catherine Strong? She might have stepped away for a while. You have to unmute yourself, by the way, if you want to, when you are ready to speak. We'll move to Carolina Galliano.
Hello, everyone. My name is, Carolina Galliano. I'm a TV producer for Montgomery College Television, Channel 10. And I'll be quick because I have two little ones, which means my favorite vacation spot is where I can actually rest and everything else is done for me. So I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean. So I do love a good resort by the beach.
Thank you. Sally Bartas.
Hi, everybody. Sally Bartas. I am with Stanley Black & Decker. I'm the VP for Human Resources from our corporate division and executive staff. I also sit on the board for Alpha, Baltimore chapter. So I actually heard about this through Veronica Kuhl, who also sits on the board with me. And my favorite vacation spot, I would say, Croatia. I never even knew about it until I got a chance to go. It's absolutely beautiful.
Wow, I want to go. I want to go. Okay, welcome. Chiquita Hall Hamilton.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Chiquita, and I wanted to first say thank you, Marta, for inviting me. I work for the Department of Veteran Affairs, and I am a speechwriter. My favorite vacation spot right now has to be Disney because I have a 12-year-old and we have to go every year. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for being here, Chiquita.
Thank you. Susan Keisler, or is it Keisler or is it Keisler?
It's Keisler.
Okay.
So I'm Keisler, and I'm Executive Director of Partnership for Extraordinary Minds. We call it X Minds for short, and it's a small nonprofit here in Montgomery County that's dedicated to improving education for autistic students just in our county. So we're very interested in finding ways to prepare those students to be successful in the workforce. And we're also starting an internship now for autistic students. So I'm very interested in what you all have to say. My favorite place to go for vacation is Kiowa Island in South Carolina. They have great
Oh,
beaches.
wow. I haven't been there yet, but I heard it's very nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. Gonna check again on, let's see, we're Janice Freeman. Janice, are you still with us?
I am. Let's see if I can get.
There's a whole bunch of new people, so I wanted you to.
I know. I don't know if I can get this on, but anyway, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm Janice Freeman. I am president of the African American Chamber of Commerce, and I am also president of J.M. Freeman Enterprise, which is a commercial and residential real estate brokerage. Places, I'm trying to think which place should I say. This has to do with friends and location. Myrtle Beach is a place that I enjoy visiting.
Well, great. It's a good time to go.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here. And how about Javier Peña? Javier, would you like to introduce yourself? I don't know if I don't see your microphone.
I think he's trying to get back into the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may want to check Carmen.
Okay. No, I've already admitted him.
Okay.
So
he's muted right now.
He signed out by mistake. And
he's back
trying
in.
to do that.
He's back in. He needs to unmute himself.
Okay.
Introductions.
Sure. Yes, sorry for that. Javier Peña, and I work for a nonprofit in South Florida. We do various projects, development projects in Latin America and the Caribbean, including shipping containers of humanitarian materials, hygiene supplies to disaster areas, sometimes in the Caribbean and Central America.
Okay. And Mauricio Vasquez, thank you, Javier, for joining us. Mauricio,
thank you.
Vasquez?
Welcome, pleasure to have Marta and to have everybody here. And Allison, thank you for this presentation you're just about to give us. I am the Director of Programs of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Montgomery County, as well as the Chief Technology Officer for Aquas. And my favorite spot for vacation is definitely Medellin. So looking forward to my next visit. So
pretty soon, I guess, huh? Yeah.
Two for Medellin.
Yes. So there's two for Medellin here.
Yes. Okay. And I'm the president of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My name is Carmen Larson. I'm your co-host with Mauricio Vasquez and the wonderful people from JSSA. We're also being joined by Gabriela Romo and Heide de Paula, who are at this point in time. And so I think after these folks, we're going to turn it over to the presentation. Otherwise, we'll be here all day as everybody joins. So Gabriela Romo, welcome aboard. And if you could just quickly introduce yourself so we can, and say what your favorite vacation spot is, and we can move on to the presentation.
Hi, yeah, my favorite vacation spot is the beach, anywhere that is warm and sunny.
That's great. And tell us about who you are and what you do and your interest in this program.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Gabriela Romo. I'm a psychotherapist. I self-employed. So I have my private practice working with immigrants, with anybody who wants or is in the process of changing their immigration status and they need to show the emotional hardship. Also, I have a radio show on mental health every week on Radio America. It's in Spanish, and you can listen to it every Tuesday from 2:30 to 3. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to this Zoom meeting to know more about this. I already had the experience, but I'm looking forward to know what's going on these days and if there's anything I can do as well.
Okay, and the last one we're going to ask is Heidi de Paula. Welcome, Heidi. Is it Heidi or Heidi?
Whatever it is that you call me, if I know you're talking to me, that's it. You know, it
Okay,
doesn't matter.
welcome. Tell us about who you are and what you like to do on your vacation.
Well, I am kind of I don't have any place that I'm linked to, but the Down Syndrome Network. I'm on the board of the Down Syndrome Network right now, but I used to work for the ARC of Montgomery County for 24 years. And I was a family services liaison there. So I used to be there linked to not just the families, but the professionals, to everybody that I could connect to and help sons and daughters and all the people that we know that need a job and need to find information. And one of the groups that I belong to is the Transition Work Group. That's where Marta is too. We do some fairs and conferences for them, and I'm always trying to figure out what is going on. I have a son that is 38, has Down syndrome, and is successfully employed, a government employee, employment, just the Department of Veterans Affairs, and he's teleworking all this pandemic. So I want to be aware of what's going on, so far that so I can help other people that are trying to facilitate this employment experience for everyone that needs a job and that wants a job. So when a description of the topic was coming, I was thinking about what we went through, and what I wonder what is it that Jess is doing now that sounds so exciting that I wanted to know, so that we can learn some lessons from it. So that's me. Yeah, vacation spot, anywhere where I can rest. I just have to rest. So, and I like variation, but I do love the beach. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Heidi. And Allison, please take it away. Otherwise, we'll take up all of your time. So
it's actually me who's going to get it started.
Oh, you're going to start. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Marta Bohorquez, did you want to introduce yourself, or did we already do that?
We did, but briefly, because many more people have joined, right?
Okay.
So my name is Marta Bohorquez. I am the Employment Development Coordinator for Jewish Social Services Agency, the Specialized Employment Department. In a moment, we're going to review what Jewish Social Services does and what specifically the Employment Department does. Yeah, if we can go to the next slide, please, Allison. Thank you. So here it is, who we serve and how we serve them. We have several programs. We honestly serve the whole population. Non-sectarian, meaning we serve anyone regardless of their religious affiliation, their age, their social status, their economic status, because we have programs to assist people who cannot afford for our services. So take a look. As you can see, children, adults, families, everyone. Yep. And those are the services that we have. Thank you, Allison. Then this is the department that we represent, Allison and myself. It's a beautiful department, honestly, 16 people approximately. Our supervisor is a lawyer who had a lot of experience working as a patent lawyer, but then he had a child with autism, and that's when he decided he wanted to dedicate his life to this kind of work. In the department, we have people that speak a total of 8 languages. 4 of us speak Spanish. Allison and someone else, I believe, they do American Sign Language. We are a combination of people with social work degrees, human resources, special education, counseling, psychology, and in my case, business and marketing, and that has been my experience. What I do mainly is I connect our people with disabilities with the employers. When we talk about clients, we refer to the people with disabilities, but the employers are as important as the people with disabilities, because we try to make sure that the needs of the hiring manager are met through our candidates. Next, thank you. So this is what makes us wonderful, really. This is the reason why employers really like us. In the last, since 2014, when my supervisor, Tom Liniak, and myself, we came to the department, from then on, we have developed 250 new hires. I mean, companies who hire people with disabilities. Some of them, as you have heard a little bit, is already Eureka Facts, Gabi, Romo. They have had the experience of working with people with disabilities. 39% of those jobs are full-time. 87% of those jobs are kept 6 months later. That's as far as we go in keeping track of the retention. The next number, the $2.25, is really something that relates to funding, not so much to employers. But what I would like to say is we placed 90 people in 2019 and 70 people in 2020 in the midst of a pandemic. So that is, I think, a little impressive when you talk about people with disabilities. We ensure that our clients' performance meets or exceeds standards at no cost to employers. And we're going to go a little deeper into that. Thank you, Allison. So these are just some of our partners. These are the loyal partners. I can tell you, I started doing this 20 years ago exactly. It was at the end of August of 2001 when I came to Maryland. I started working with another organization. I've been working with different organizations, and all these companies have followed me wherever I go. I am kind of the salesperson for each of these companies, right? And now I am very proud to be with Jewish Social Services. We work in a very interesting way with my coworkers. I will explain to you in a moment how we do it. So Dave & Buster's, for example, they have hired approximately 20 clients with disabilities through the years. And I'm talking about the one in White Flint, the one in Anne Arundel County, the one in Virginia, the one in Silver Spring, and now the one in Rio. So they are faithful. They keep coming back to us. Fitzgerald, they keep hiring people and also doing internships with us. Walmart, just during the pandemic, Walmart reached out to me and they said, because I've been trying to get them for years and years. And finally, when the pandemic came, one day I am there and the manager said, this is your lucky day. I need 11 people. And I got myself to work, sent the email to all my coworkers, and they come back with the candidates. Eureka Facts, I think we have placed 3 or 4 people so far, right, Jorge? Chick-fil-A, let me tell you briefly the story with Chick-fil-A. When I approached them for the first time, they told me, no way. Thank you. I have nothing against people with disabilities, but no way. They are not what you guys say they are. I told her, would you give us a chance? This was the very first time I met this woman. And I said, will you give us a chance? I promise you we're different. We take this very seriously and we can see things from the perspective of the employer, not just from the perspective of a social worker or the perspective of a nonprofit. We absolutely understand the needs of the employer, the needs of the business. So she said, okay, I'm gonna give you one chance. If that doesn't work, I close my door forever. I think so far we have 12 hires since 2017. 12 hires. And she opened, the one in Germantown opened doors in the rest of the county. We had a presentation just for Chick-fil-A, but that's because we are a very professional team, as I said, very in tune with the needs of the employers. Can we go to the next one, please? So yeah, the money, how do we provide these services? Employers don't have to pay for our services. Clients with disabilities don't have to pay for our services. The money comes from funding sources from the state, Montgomery County Health and Human Services, and private pay. Sometimes they have to do it because for one reason or another, they didn't go through DOORS, which is the state or the county. Thank you, Allison. Employers also get incentives. money, work opportunity tax credit are available if you hire people with disabilities. I won't go into detail because that can take us forever, but there is money involved. Some companies like Home Depot, Safeways, Walmart, it's automatically. You just complete the application and they ask the right questions. For example, are you in TANF, which is money that the government provides for low-income families? Are you a recipient of food stamps? Are you a recipient of rehabilitation services? And that would be us. So yes, there's money. Thank you. So let's think for a moment. On an average, how much money does your business spend on advertising, recruiting, screening, hiring, training? And then even if you've done a wonderful job, your HR person has done a wonderful job, surprises arise, right? And then you have to address those issues. All that costs a lot of money. While, let me see how many of you can take a guess here. What do you think? Which of those options do you think it is? With JSSA, is it 0? Is it number 2, 25 to 100, or 100 and plus? Let me see those fingers, please. Yeah, Jorge, you know it, it's 0. There's nothing. With us, we don't charge anything to you. We do all this and we get involved. Thank you for those that send me a chat with the number. Yeah, it's 0. Thank you so much. So how do we measure results? Retention rates, as I said, which is pretty high, and employer satisfaction. So our goal is not just to place one person in every company. Our goal is to create partnerships with businesses that will last for a lifetime. Right now, the manager at Walmart referred me to the manager in the Walmart in Frederick, the one in Laurel, the one in DC. So that is what we call success. When we are not only placing one client, but they keep coming and keep coming and they keep asking them because we are presenting excellent candidates that really match your needs. So how do we do it? I'll give you an example. You can read this, but I prefer to give you an example. Some time ago, Shoppers Food Warehouse, they told me, Marta, we are spending a lot of money getting fresh fruit, which is already cut and packed from outside sources. We're considering doing it in the house. We're going to create a room in the back with a table where several people will stand around the table and just chop, you know, watermelon, pineapple, any strawberries and more. So they said, can you help us recruiting people for this job? I take notes of every single details. For example, the person has to stand for many hours or 4 hours straight. They have to be able to use a knife. They don't need excellent communication skills. They're going to be standing around the table, doing. They're not going to be chatting. So communication skills are not really important. I take notes of all of that and I bring it back to and the hours, of course. What hours? Really early in the morning. That job started at 6 in the morning and it will go till 10 in the morning. That was it. Monday through Saturday. So I come back to my department and I share an email with everybody saying, okay, we have this opportunity. This is the locations. We need this amount of people. And my co-workers who have worked really close to the people with disabilities, putting together resumes, cover letters, training them how to answer correctly questions in an interview, training them about what to expect once they start a new job. Then they really want to I look for the right matches, I screen them, I test their skills. I don't just trust even what my coworkers might say. They might say they are wonderful, they are great. Yeah, but they're trying to place their people. So what I do is I screen everybody. I want to see their abilities. And if they really satisfy me, knowing what I know from the employer, then I present them to the employer. Coworkers complete applications online. I bring the 2 or 3 candidates to the employer has a choice to make or not. Nobody is required to hire a person with disabilities. You just interview them just like you interview anyone else. And then you decide if it's meant to be or not. You have the right to say no, no problem. They are prepared for that. They are prepared for rejection. They are prepared for keep pursuing a job until they get it. And then once they are placed, I talk to the employer, and if the employer is okay with this, we provide job coaching. One of us, co-workers and myself, we go to the job site and we are there coaching them, which takes away from your need to be involved in the training for weeks. We take care of that. We train them. We find systems, ways that they will learn that might be more effective. That's when people like Allison, that has excellent experience with the special education, has systems in place that honestly blows anybody's minds. Allison is one of our very, very best, honestly. So that's how we do it. And I think now it's time for Jorge to speak. Let's have Jorge, and then we have the video. So
before Marta, very quickly, there's a question in the chat. I wanted to interrupt you.
Yes.
The education level of our clients.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. So we have clients that are graduated from high school. Others are working on their GED. We have people with master's degree, associate's degree, bachelor's degrees, PhDs. We have people that have been, for example, an architect for many, many years, and then they had I have someone in my mind, they had a stroke, and we have to help them find a new career, a new job. So we work with people at every single level. Thank you. Do we have any other questions, Allison, so far? No?
No, not right now, but I'll let you know if we do.
Thank you. So Jorge, take it from here, please.
Okay, thank you, Marta. Thank you, Allison. This is and thank you for the work that you do. That it's really something that it's very gratifying that you are dedicated to this, because it's so important. From the business perspective, I've had the pleasure and the benefit of having worked with Marta for so many years, and she's brought us wonderful people. And so, as a company, we do market, social research, analytics, and that ranges from doing data entry on surveys, conducting data collection by phone, conducting analytics, all kinds of skills. And I look at it in a way that it's very important to look at. One is humanity in the organization. So when we have an environment that is inclusive of everyone with all their abilities and disabilities that they may have, it makes the whole team a lot stronger. And so what we've had is opportunities. I know that I met the most persistent person ever a long time ago. And she kept coming to my office and calling me that she wanted to play somebody. And I said, sure. Yeah, it's just that I'm busy. And one day she sat at the reception for I don't know, a few hours, I guess, until I feel like she hasn't gone yet. And she was nicest person, but saying, it's okay, I know they're busy, but I just need 2 minutes. And so when I finally met with Marta, and she introduced us a candidate that in this instance, we had somebody that had pretty kind of limitations in terms of social anxiety, but a talent for concentration and specific task in one of the activities. So we looked at those strengths, and we set up the position, the activities, things that other people really were not very good at, but she was superb. Mm-hmm. And in that, she started as the internship, and then went on to stay for, I forget now, because that one opportunity was a while back, for some time. And then she was placed in an agency, obtained with a full-time job. And I think that's very successful for everybody, for us, for the client, for the other employer, for everybody around. And we've had over time staff that have mobility limitations. And the fact that you have a mobility issue doesn't mean that you can't be the most persuasive telephone agent on the floor and just beating everybody else in kind of in their stats and how things were done. We've had people with different kinds of anxieties or other kinds of limitations. It's just a wide range within the program and outside of the program as well. And so what I've found that is really useful is, one, work with Marta, work with Allison to identify the right person. Work to build the culture of inclusiveness in the company, because what is really important is if you're bringing somebody in, it doesn't matter whether with abilities or disabilities, the culture of inclusiveness and humanity is really important. We want to hire every person to have an environment in which they can succeed. And that includes the culture of the company, and it also includes the kinds of tasks that we ask somebody to do. So looking at that, looking at sometimes the training for the supervisor is in how to equip a supervisor to make sure that there is a welcoming environment, that there is productivity, that there is that it doesn't generate kind of a barrier for the organization, but in fact that it generates pluses. Because for us, the more inclusive, the more diverse, the better, the stronger we are. So that has been kind of our experience, in that we looked at the culture of the organization. And one of the things that changes is not only for the individual and the supervisor, but across the company, it creates a new kind of energy in the company when you have more diverse effort. And diverse, I mean, by every possible dimension. That we work with the supervisor, that we work to understand. So Marta, thank you so much, because you identify kind of the skills and some of the context, and you bring us the candidates that really work. And then overall, that ongoing support, checking in to see how things are going. So that has been fantastic. And so with that, I completely endorse all of the work that JSSA does. Marta is fabulous. Allison, I look forward to internship opportunities as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Jorge, so much. It has been an excellent experience working with you, and you absolutely understand, embrace it. But I tell you, we have wonderful employers that understand how this works. It's just people. We need to work. I bet, and I can tell you, many people in your staff already, and I'm not talking just about you, Jorge, but everyone, there are people with disabilities. Some of them are not disclosing what they have, but you might have experienced it. And it's better when we come up front and tell you from the very beginning, I'm going to talk to you about people with disabilities, and here they are. This is the way that they can succeed. So again, thank you so much, Jorge. Now we're going to watch a video that I believe it's inspiring, and it will show you a lot of the kind of work that we do, how we work at JSSA. Thank you, Allison.
I'm Evan Freeman. I work at Gulf Farm & Associates. I'm their inventory specialist. I've got a 9311. I've been working at Gulf Farm for 2.5 years. One of them.
Evan is one of the best things about our company. It's very hard to find employees who show up regularly every day, ready to work, with disabilities or without.
Anyway, else here, just me and you.
So far, it's just me and you.
He's a warehouse worker. He has definitely a skill match. He is a good fit for this particular job here at GoFarm.
9331.
The mission of specialized employment at JSSA is to provide an excellence in a 21st century model to help ever-increasing numbers of persons with disabilities gain and retain not just jobs, but careers.
He's on top of everything. If we can't find something and Evan's not here, we call Evan because he knows where everything is.
He knows more about injectors than anybody else in the company.
2033.
He really pays attention to a lot of details that the rest of us miss.
I know what I'm talking about. They know I know what I'm doing. They have a lot of trust in me knowing what's going on and all that.
He has been so happy here, and he feels really worthwhile.
We have a good feel for culture and needs. Spend a lot of time making sure that we build a good foundation of integrating the employee, the employer, and peers at that company.
We get for lunch together. And with a good memory, I get to remember what everything is and all that.
It's really difficult to get a foot in the door. Luckily, Jessa was around to say, I'm telling you, this one is going to work.
We actually had him like this beforehand.
Twice a month, I come in, if not more, and I talk to Evan to find out how he's doing and if there's a need, how can I help support Evan in that need.
Evan's counselor, she's fantastic. Evan and Lynn and I will sit down and we'll talk about any issues that might be coming up, what's going well, what's not going well. She's really on top of it.
They talk about what he's doing good at, and she can be the one to say, okay, I will check on you. It's one less thing Mom and Dad have to worry about. He's happy, he has friends here, he has people that care about him, and as a parent, what more could you ask for your child than being in a workplace where they're happy?
Evan?
What do you got?
The bottom line is, if he didn't pull his weight, it wouldn't be good. But he does pull his weight. You can't argue that point. So he's a great employee.
This is the place that I'm going to end up spending probably the rest of my working career at.
Thank you so much, Allison. Or you can contact me directly or Allison. We're going to put our information in the chat. And now Allison is going to talk about her internships. Thank you, Allison.
Okay. Thank you, Marta. And thank you, Jorge, for speaking on our behalf. So I wanted to mention too, because you're hearing words about who we're talking about, people with disabilities. You're seeing a video of Evan. You're hearing kind of Jorge's experience. The people that we support, they all have disabilities. That's what we do. But just like there's a spectrum of disabilities and different support needs, there's a spectrum of agencies that kind of support along that spectrum to meet people where they are. And so where we meet people is on the cusp of independence. So the people that we support are, you know, ready to work, capable of working, want to work, and have the means to work. And they just kind of need a bit of a push and a shove to get there. And then, you know, sometimes the advocacy on Marta's side or my side to make it happen. So we support people on that end, if that gives you a better picture of the people we're talking about. So what do internships and train to hire programs, what does that look like? So there are companies, in this example, CVS, we have a fantastic relationship because of Marta and her 20 years of experience in the field with CVS. CVS, everybody knows CVS. And when you walk in, you get the kind of checklist on the right. You know, you get the customer service, you get employees that understand where you need things in the store. You want something stocked, it's stocked, right? That's what it is to go into a CVS. And we don't compromise CVS's need when we step in. We don't compromise the quality of their work or their productivity or anything like that. We use CVS as a business site, as a training center where we can teach our young adults the kind of newer entry into the workforce type people who need an opportunity to learn how work works. What does that mean? What does working mean? When you go in, you need to be on time, you need to wear your uniform, and you need to check in with someone, and you need to start, working. But how do you do that? What does that mean? And so we use internships as an opportunity to teach those workplace readiness skills at the same time as we're matching a business with the client's abilities. At the same time, we're matching the client's abilities with the business needs. And then it ends up often in a paid opportunity, but not necessarily. And that's what an internship is. It's an opportunity for the intern to learn how work works, and an opportunity for the employer, the business, to provide time and to provide mentoring. And that's it. So really what it looks like is we pop in, we bring our intern, and we support them during their internship to meet all of the standards that CVS has for all of their employees. Because why would we train someone not to those standards? What kind of training is that? So that's what we do. So those are internships. And then my next example is something we call train to hire. So similar to an internship, we don't compromise productivity, quality, anything like that. The only difference between an internship here is that for train to hire, we're filling a business need. So we're, bringing candidates who are ready to work. They just might need an alternative interview, another way to showcase their skills rather than sitting in a room with someone and saying, oh yeah, absolutely, I can do that, and nodding their head and smiling. And then you say, okay, great, you'll start on Tuesday. And then they start on Tuesday, and who knows if they can do it or not. You've never seen them do it before. So this is an alternative interview pathway, an opportunity for businesses to see a candidate at work, doing real work, doing the job, instead of sitting in a room for 20 minutes. You kind of get to see it over a longer period of time. So again, we communicate with those businesses, we figure out what their needs are, and we bring them a candidate. So we stick a candidate in, and they meet them, they can sit down with them to just kind of make sure right off the bat if it's a good fit. And we train them. So assuming all goes well, we bring in that candidate with us. We set up different interview blocks of time, right? The interview training. Me or my coworkers will go in and we'll provide our job coaching on site to demonstrate, there is an opportunity to complete this work. There is the learning curve. This is what it looks like. And, they prove their ability, they meet expectations. And assuming, all goes well, they're hired for that role. And so you're really getting a sense of who you're bringing into your team. Instead of kind of going through piles and piles of resumes, you get, 2 or 3 excellent candidates from Marta, from me, and we have already done the pre-screening, the background work, so that when you get them, you know right away that they're someone who's going to do a good job. So how does it work? How does an internship work? So we want to make sure that our clients are learning how work works, not just at a workplace, but doing real work, because it's the worst feeling in the world when someone comes into your business and you say, okay, the intern's here. What are we going to do with them today? Right? That's not what we want. We want to make sure they're coming in and they're doing what needs to be done. And they're really, building a rapport and a relationship with the business, with the coworkers, because that's what it means to learn how work works. So we have kind of that conversation at the beginning, figuring out, okay, you want to start an internship with us, let's figure it out. And then we go in and we actually see how your business operates. Because just like a client or a candidate can tell you in an interview that they can do things, you can tell us what you can do, and that's great, but what do you really do? What does it really look like? Because there are certain nuances to every business, and we want to make sure that when we introduce a candidate that they can do those specific things and they'll mesh with your culture. So we observe, we take our time, we sit down, we discuss what time of day is it, important for you to have an intern. Should they come in the morning, the afternoon? weekends, during the week, what does that look like? Because there are times when you're going to have a lot of that work, and there's times that you're not going to have a lot of that work. And so why would we send an intern in on a schedule where they're not going to have enough to do? That doesn't make sense at all. So we set up those opportunities, we make those partnerships, and then at no cost, we bring in an intern, someone who wants to work, someone that is capable of working, but they're new, they don't know. And on top of that, they have a disability. So it's more important that they have high quality experiences and a reference, you know, someone that they can bring to their next interview and a job, and can really speak to different skills and experiences that they've had in real life doing that real work that they can then share in an interview, and it'll bring them that much closer to their next paid employment opportunity. So how would this help you? How would this help your business? In many ways. So we bring you these excellent candidates, and these people, I almost can guarantee you probably 99% of our clients show up to work 99% of the time that they're scheduled to work. They come. So you're not, you know, losing people, having to panic and make sure that they're not showing up. Where are they? What are they doing? They're doing the job, and they're doing it successfully. Beyond that, your workforce is inclusive and diversified. You have candidates that are selected specifically by us to meet your specific needs, your specific culture. Perhaps our alternative interview methods are going to inform human resources and their department and their interview methods. Maybe it'll kind of change that dynamic for the company as a whole with all hires. And then whenever someone walks into your business or they interact with someone on your team, you never know. I heard a lot, people have children with disabilities. You all, of course, know someone with a disability. And so it really builds a stronger connection with the community when they see, oh, that company hires people with disabilities, right? That's my neighbor's best friend's kid who works at this place, you know? So it really helps the community. And we do that for a reason. So that's what we do. And thank you for your time. And if we want to open up the chat or allow people to ask some questions, I think we have a few minutes to do that.
Yeah. Any questions, anyone? I don't think we address something. What disabilities we work with? Let me share that a little bit. So we work with people with physical disabilities, mental disabilities, developmental, emotional disabilities, but they all have to be able to work independently. So that's the thing with Jewish social services. Other organizations, I told you I work with several organizations, some of them, they need much more hand-holding. Our people, we give them, like Allison was saying, they just need a little bit of help at the very beginning, but then they're going to be able to work independently. That's a commitment we have with you guys. Accommodation.
Now that I think about it, I'll mention something else. So it's so funny because sometimes we'll get clients and they'll say, okay, great, so you can get me a job tomorrow. And we say, no, that's not how it works. We don't just stick people in a job, right? We're not a job placement agency or recruiting firm, nothing like that. Sometimes I'll say we're a job search support agency. So, we hold your hand along in the process, and then there's, Marta is out there making these fantastic connections with different employers, different businesses, so that when we do know that our client is truly ready for the workforce and we have in mind what exactly it is that they're interested in for their career, then on the other side, we have all of these businesses that are familiar with what we do. They know who we are. They know the quality of candidates that we're bringing, and they're ready to accept our candidates for interviews. And that's all we ask for. And so it's not a job placement. It's not just throwing them in and hopefully they're able to be successful. No. It's much more calculated and systematic than that.
Absolutely. So our contact information is right there. If feel free to reach out to us with questions, with maybe you want us to assess your workplace and see if we can start talking about an internship. Remember, internships, they don't have to even be paid. What we're looking for is an opportunity for our people to get training, to have something to put in the resume, to experience the life of work, right? So
an opportunity to build self-confidence too.
Exactly. Do we wait a little more for questions? It is already 5 p.m. So some people have already texted me saying, I gotta go, it's 5 p.m. and it's okay.
I do see in the chat some emails, so we'll take those down and we'll connect with you. Thank you.
Wonderful. And we'll have the presentation recorded. If you need it, let us know and we will be happy to send it to you. Thank you so much for coming, for showing up today, for listening to this presentation. I hope it changes the way you see people with disabilities from now on. Thank you so much.